After that first session with our second year players, we welcomed in our first year players the week after that, obviously starting with Riley Sanders, coming from Sandringham Dragons and Melbourne Grammar, a highly touted pick. The time that I've spent with him already seems to be a high calibre human being, very humble, very driven, very professional early. We also welcomed in Jordan Croft, father-son candidate here, who's spent some time here already in the Father-Son Academy. We know him quite well. Very exciting to have Jordan here from the Quarter Cannons, but very excited to get him in the club full-time. Joel Frazier, a tall winger from Ballarat, has been very, very comfortable at our level so far at training, has shown some really good signs, very driven character, who's going to do some good things for us going forward. Lockie Smith, a ruckman from Gippsland Power, looks a lot older than what he is, but again, coming into our program, we're going to make sure that Lockie's looked after, making sure that we can set him up for a long career as a ruckman is a big workload, but we liked what we've seen from Lockie so far. Aidan O'Driscoll from WA, he's got 2 siblings in the AFL programs already. Very, very good athlete, super quick. We've seen that on the track already. He's had immediate impact with that speed and really high endurance. We're looking for him to put it all together. We're very excited where he can go. So our first DA all together. First of all, what we have done, which is a bit of a shift for us, I've got you a little gift. Joel, I can see you've already got a book already. This book here, it's a company called The Inner Game. Have a couple of seconds to have a look at the front page and see what you think. We handed out journals just for our young players to feel like if they wanted to capture their thoughts or capture any questions they have in team meetings or line meetings, that they would be able to jot them down, even just their own inner thoughts, just to try and organise their days. Organise what's going on inside their heads, to put it down on paper, because quite simply, sometimes when you think things internally and you keep thinking it doesn't seem to hold as much water it does when you write it down. It becomes really crystallised and it can make you feel something. So we just think giving them those journals may aid their learning process early. On the first page of the journals, we got some senior players who had been through DA before, just to write a little note of encouragement, just something they could have forever. I thought I could write that, I thought Bevo could write that, which would be nice, but nothing better coming from your teammates, people like Marcus Bontempelli, Ed Richards, Tom Liberatore, Liam Jones, just to provide a positive message that they'll see every day when they open these journals. And obviously a really good keepsake for them going forward, but some of those words in there were really powerful and I'm sure the boys will really appreciate it.
Yeah, I got Jonesy, and Jonesy is somebody that I'm really trying to I admire what he does, and he's like him as a person on and off the field. And you can tell that every time, we all know it, how desperate he is on the field, something that I want to work towards. So he's just speaking about always giving 100% and owning your own career, which he's certainly done. To the extras he does and the help he gives out, he's fully invested in what he does. So just trying to be like that.
Bon just said you kind of create your own luck. The more you put in, the more you get out. So he said, it's up to you if you want to become a good player in that.
Very good. So what's the correlation? Why have we chosen these players?
Similar positional, players that will play similar roles to you, people you can learn off, look up to and ask questions of.
Good. What else? Where did they start? They started in this room. All of them have started DA here over their time. No one's come from somewhere else. They've started here and they're still here and what they've grown into. So on that note, what's going to happen today is the guys who are in their second year, they were here this time last year, they know exactly how you guys are feeling, and they're going to give you some advice that the stuff they wish they knew or had have maybe listened to earlier last year, that's going to help you through your first couple of weeks, months, and maybe just post-Christmas. All right, so very handsome bunch. Last, you're going to go first, we're going to go number order. All right, I've got yours up here. Take the floor.
The first one is sort of around this is your job now, you do this full time. So it's about building relationships with the coaches and the players around you. You're here 24/7 pretty much in the pre-season. And there's the people that you'll be with, all day, every day and outside the club on the weekends. So especially for someone like Driz, we sort of come from the same situation, all you boys really, we all have to move away from home. So it's making sure you just ask questions to people, try and form relationships off the field, which help you on the field as well. Once you get connections with players, you start to know each other's personalities and their game style. So just become friends on and off the field, and then the next one is like the desire to help from the coaches and the other players and senior players. You'll learn really quickly, like, as much effort you want to put in is what you'll get out. So I worked a lot with Doggy last year doing like making him stay behind, doing touch, and that's the type of people that are at this club. So like whatever you want to do, these coaches will help you do. So just make sure you put in 110%. Like, don't leave the club knowing that, like, wishing you could have done something else. Like, just go and do it. And then older players as well, like they all want to help you as well. They realise like their time is sort of coming to an end, and they want to like keep this club going. Like, it's such a good club, and they want to help as much as possible. So really dive into the older players and the coaches around you to guide you.
Stepping outside the comfort zone. When I first got here, I was probably a bit shy and didn't really talk as much. But yeah, sort of just got to break the barrier and be comfortable being uncomfortable. Like, ask for help. Have a laugh. Just be yourself, more or less. And yeah, it would make things a lot easier.
I had a bit of a frustrating year with injuries and so forth. It was probably more, I learned a lot about managing my body and taking on advice and accepting help from like our physios and Stoney and like Prizzer and all the boys in rehab. I was getting a bit impatient and just wanted to be training and not listening, but always wanting to probably do too much, and it probably hurt me in the long run there. But you've just got to also accept that as a first year, your program is going to be a bit different to the older boys, whether that's in the gym or out on the track. Like, you just got to trust that the boys know what they're doing and they're looking after you. They're not trying to hold you back.
There's a lot of things that go into our weeks and how to prepare our bodies and everything like that, and whether it's gym, normal training, IP, touch. I just think not thinking anything's more important than the other, and making sure you put a lot of energy and effort into all of your stuff, whether it's massage, whether it's going through a grueling treatment thing to get, make sure your body is right. They're all doing it for a reason, so you can't just say, no, I'm not going to do that today. Just make sure that you tick all those boxes and not think it's more important than the other, just footy. And then something I didn't sort of write up there is how, similar to what Doggy said, like how lucky we are to be in the position we are. I didn't come straight out of school and straight into a footy club. I've seen the other side of what it's like to play a sport, do uni and work, and the amount of time that we have to, one, be in each other's company, but two, just play sport is the best thing ever. And that can go unnoticed sometimes, especially in season. I found a bit last year where you do take it a bit for granted because you're just like, oh, I'm not going so well, things like that. You just got to go back to why you love coming to work, why you love playing the sport, why you love being around the people you're around. So I think that's something that I learned that was super important, and it definitely is beneficial off the field, but also on the field.
Yeah, it's a challenge for people to present to a group. Not everyone wants to do it or is capable, but we like to put our players in those situations just because it's really good for their own personal growth. We want them to be in front of the group just to understand that you'll be okay, work your way through it, a pressure situation, speak clearly, calm down. It has a lot of correlations with playing football in front of a big crowd too, so we like to do that every now and then just to keep you comfortable and grow personally. Okay, last thing for me. This is what I put up every year when we have our first meeting. Who wants to play round one next year AFL? Everyone. Is it going to happen in this room? What is it? There's 9 of us, I think. If Crofty was here, is everyone going to be able to play? It's not impossible, but it could happen. So just because you want to play, Joel, you want to do that, don't you? Yeah. I always wanted to win a Brownlow. Did it happen? Just because I wanted it to? That's not how things work here. Just because that's what you want to do, that's your goal. What's going to help you get to that? And that's what we're going to be. No one is judging you or testing you. We're trying to help build you over these next 12 months. even the second year players, you've still got habits that we need to lift, don't we? Your habits are going to decide what happens in the next few months. Very important for our second year players to reflect on their previous 12 months and impart some wisdom onto our first year players. We can tell them what's going to happen until we're blue in the face, but until they sort of feel it coming from someone who's experienced it just recently, that seems to hit really quickly with them. And you can see them taking some notes and understanding what this first year is going to look like for them. So it's great for our second year players to spend some time looking back, but helping our young boys come in and go forward in their first few weeks and really thrive in that first month or so.